this poor little plant was finally starting to do okay, and then I kicked it over. I'm just trying to get it in the sun. There's kind of a sunlight shortage in my apartment. It does now during the summer. Well, spring and into the summer. I get a couple hours in the morning of direct sunlight, which I'm trying to maximize over here, but there's just not a lot of real estate up there, you know? And if I can move the plants around a little bit to follow the sun, I take a very hands-on approach sometimes to growing my plants. Urban living. Accidentally kicked this guy over. His root structure is not very impressive. I have a feeling that that might have been a death. I'll try. I'm going to try. Anyways, good morning. It's Thursday. I may have just killed a plant. Not a good way to start the day. I'm working on my guide. It is, of course, now that yesterday I was walking. I walked for like 6 hours yesterday and in like the pseudo rain. And then today, hanging out at home, it's sunny. Ha 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 ha. Ha. It's just the way it goes. I'm going to work this morning, try to get the guide as close to finished as possible. I've been working on it all week. I'm going to keep working on it, updating it. There are some problems, obviously. I lost some things, but we're going to overcome those. And then hopefully, they'll be ready to come to France. There was some more news about that today. Maybe about quarantines. I don't even know. I'm going to go look it up. Just trying to stay on top of it. Let's get out of here. Sometimes it can be hard to remember that I need to stop and take stock of what's going on in life. I just sat down and that dust just poofed up. I was just vacuuming for a while and apparently I didn't get it all. It's amazing how much dust comes in. Anyways, life is very good right now. But I will be honest, I've been feeling, it's interesting, now that we're allowed out and about and I'm having to do all this work and I spent so much time with my family and really with my dad especially, like we just spent a ton of time together. I think I'm feeling a little bit lonely. Like, I'm not going to be able to... You can see how the sun in the eyes is kind of a challenge when it comes to, work. I wonder how bad is that? I actually don't know how bad the lighting is, given the contrast. I don't know what it is right now. The last couple of days I've definitely been feeling... I haven't been feeling down necessarily, but I've been feeling kind of this weird frustration and a sense of loneliness that I haven't felt in a while. And I think that's kind of normal. I think there's, just regular swings up and down, back and forth, especially with being released out into the wild, having a lot of work that I really want to get the guide finished and ready, because theoretically a lot of you are going to be allowed to visit for the first time in a long time, and I just want it to be ready. There are going to be some caveats because with COVID it's hard to know for sure who all survived and who all is going to survive. Most of the restaurants should have survived to reopen, but there are a lot of rumors circulating about how when the government aid stops, a lot of them are going to go out of business. So there's a chance that a lot of places reopen and we think that they're open and then they end up closing by the end of the year. So it's going to be kind of hard to know exactly what all is going on. And we're adding some stuff in there about that. But wanting to get that done, wanting to get caught up and really getting ready to start telling people about Secret Project number 2 and then feeling, the desire to get out and explore the city again. That comes and goes as well. And I think I'm realizing I just got to make sure that I rope more friends into that. As much as anything, for starters. But also just wanted to take stock of where I'm at and why maybe I've been feeling kind of funky the last couple of days. I talked about in my newsletter, which is coming out, by the time you see this, it'll be coming out today. But I talked a little bit about boundaries and how boundaries are something that my family and I it's like a family theme, a familial theme. We talk about it all the time, but are not very good at doing it traditionally, and we're getting better at it. And I've been setting a lot more boundaries, healthy boundaries within my life, saying no to things a lot more. I have to say no to so many things just to stay on top of what it is that I do feel obligated to do, especially with work and relationships and so forth. It's a very freeing thing to actually set healthy boundaries, and I'm very grateful for that. I think I'm just suffering a little bit of the sadness that comes with some of the necessity for some of those, because some unhealthy things have been cut out. But also, it's hard for me to carry what is mine as being as important as others. So my work, my decisions, my needs, I don't weigh them as heavily as I do those of others. Usually I tend to put myself second or third. I'm working on improving that. I'm working on getting better, but it's actually kind of hard to stand that ground sometimes. Getting easier the more I do it and the healthier I feel like I'm becoming. But it's also, there's just a cost to it. and seeing how those decisions ultimately have ripple effects that maybe aren't desirable but reveal more or less the inevitability of those ripple effects. You know, unhealthy things that you cut out pull other unhealthy strings and reveal things that you didn't know were there before. There's a level of grief involved in that, you know, and letting things go. But one of the great themes of this year has been accepting people and places and activities, everything, just accepting the world for what it is to start, and then working to change what we can, but just moving on past the things that we can't. And so in that vein, I actually wasn't going to vlog today because I was thinking, well, you know, I really want to focus on getting the guide done, so that's ready for you. I want to make sure that I, you know, get my ducks in a row, but it's also really good. I really like vlogging. I like being able to share. And I was a little bit bothered. You probably saw, if you don't follow me on Instagram, Jess has been pushing me to pump my Instagram, and I haven't been. So if you, it's good to have, Jess is kind of like filling the role of like my manager right now, which has been really good, just for like a half day a week, but she's been really good at pushing me to get a lot of things done that I otherwise would struggle to get done. And one of them has been pushing Instagram. But on Instagram, I did kind of complain a little bit, just briefly, because sometimes you get, you know, comments, weird comments from people, fringy people that aren't even really a part of what makes this a fun and exciting thing, but they get in your head a little bit. And one of the things that I don't want to have happen is to lose the sense of I don't know, vulnerability and intimacy that can come from vlogging. And there is a camp of people that they just want me to go out and shoot the Eiffel Tower, and that's literally it. They just want to see baguettes and, I don't know, weird, like stereotypical French things, and that's it. They don't want to see any part of my life. And that's not what this experiment has ever been about. That's not what my vlog has ever been about. And so kind of the nice thing, I don't know, it's really nice and comforting for me to remember, oh yeah, like I need to give you a plant update. Like Gilly's doing fine back here. She doesn't get a lot of sunlight, but theoretically she doesn't like a lot of direct sunlight. So I try to put her in the sun every once in a while for just a little bit so she gets some food. But otherwise she, I've been told, just doesn't want a ton of sunlight, and she's fine. And all these plants are doing well. And just little life updates in the chateau and everything else that's going on. And it's funny because it took somebody giving me a hard time about sharing my life to remember that, oh yeah, I actually really like sharing my life and the little things, the mundane things about it. So I figured, yeah, I'll do that. I can do that. So thank you for watching that. And there's more of that to come as well. But these are just kind of like little vloggy thoughts today about where I'm at. And of course on the sunniest day, like it's so bright out there. Holy cow. I guess the rainy season may have passed. Who knows? Oof. Brutal. Anyway, those are just some thoughts from the chateau here this morning. And I'm thinking about things that have changed. Like garage monologues will never happen again, you know? Like things are always changing. Things are moving. That was one of the things from, you know, my dad's new space, and there's just going to be lots of changes and lots of things going on. And there's a lot of unknown, a lot of uncertainty moving into this, hopefully post-pandemic world. Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty as to whether or not we're moving past the pandemic yet or not. I'm not there yet, and hoping that we don't hit any major bumps in the road on exiting. But I think it's normal to feel a little bit of that weight and a little bit of the uncertainty. And it's really nice to be out and be able to sit on, you know, patios and enjoy drinks with friends and stuff again. That is huge. And I just hope we can hold on to that. And it's another reminder that I just want to make sure that I make good time for friends and that I focus on them, especially this summer. So those are my thoughts. I hope that it's not too sunny. It's really bright in here. I'm gonna get a sunburn just sitting in my room. All right, that when I said let's get out of here, now I kind of mean it. I'm gonna work here for a while, but as far as you're concerned, we can fast forward to a part where I actually leave my apartment for a minute. And that'll be glorious. I'm actually on my way to therapy now. Just kind of also coming to terms with the fact that this is going to be one of those heavier days, and that's all right. And one of the things that I would really like to figure out how to share
There are a number of topics that I just haven't figured out, necessarily how to get into yet. But one of them is the elements of trying to safely share things, believe it or not. Like some of the things that have come down the pipe through the experience of vlogging, of sharing my life, putting myself out there publicly, what that's like, what impact it's had on me, and the considerations that I have. Because things like I don't necessarily want to show you exactly where my therapist is, but does it really matter that much? Am I being paranoid? Is that a safety issue or isn't it? Questions like that. A lot of questions that you wouldn't have to think about. Non, c'est juste là. Oui, il y a le Saint-Lazare, c'est là-bas, mais Saint-Augustin. Just weird security concerns, privacy issues. Things that I'm trying to be responsible about in advance, but I don't know if I'm doing a good job with. Because I think a lot of the time people forget that I'm a real person. So this ties into the weird, kind of rude comments that people will leave sometimes. So I don't think they mean to be rude, but they can be. And I don't want anybody, the reason I don't, again, this is another thing to take into consideration. I don't want to bring that up too much either because I don't want to discourage anyone from commenting. 99% of the comments I get on my channel are lovely. I just spent an hour going through comments today. Definitely picked me up a little bit. Thanks for those really nice comments. But at the same time, it's a lot of weird stuff to navigate, right? Oh, different office today. That was good. She told me she's literally never seen me this empty before, so that's a good sign that, maybe feeling tired and a little up and down the last few days makes a lot of sense. I think the trip back to the States took a lot more out of me than I gave it credit for. I knew that it took a lot out of me. I knew it was exhausting. But one of the things I'm learning about myself too is sometimes I don't let myself feel exactly how I am, and often just push through when I probably should slow down a little bit. Anyways, it's been a very busy couple of weeks. I am hitting a point with Secret Project number 2 where I can put it on hold for a few days, can put this on hold over the weekend, can try to relax and spend some time with friends. I think that's what I'm going to do. Also going to take advantage of the whole terrace situation. Go get a drink right now, enjoy a little bit of sunshine, and then maybe just go straight to bed. I'm definitely really tired. Anyway, thanks to Trevor Farrell, today's patron producer. Really glad that you could be here for this, buddy. Thanks for keeping me going. Really appreciate it a lot. And to all my patrons, thanks to you for watching. I'm going to enjoy the park for a little bit here and sit, refill, and may or may not see you tomorrow depending on how I'm feeling. But we do have a bike to put together that I've left at the Peloton, so I'll have to go grab that. A Hemiway. Never heard of them before they reached out. They're very nice. So we'll see what their bike is like. And I'll see you tomorrow for that, bright and early. Tomorrow morning, I'm sure. I can squeeze one more out. And then I'll sleep through the weekend. See you tomorrow.